From the Liver King, to the Lion King, to the Felon King. That's right, everybody, the Liver King has been arrested. Liver King is now a felon. Eating raw testicles, raw liver, and lying about steroids was not enough for the Liver King. Yeah, he's upgraded to making terroristic threats? What the fuck? Brian Johnson, known online as the Liver King, was arrested Tuesday in Austin for allegedly making terroristic threats against podcaster Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, you may be asking? What's the beef with Liver King and Joe Rogan? I don't know. Neither does anybody else. Nobody knows. I know we've been saying it for years and years, Liver King's going crazy, he's losing his mind. But now he's actually losing his mind. This is actually the real Liver King crash out. So this started happening when he started posting some interesting stories on his Instagram where, he's just totally sane, very calm, very cohesive, knows exactly what he's saying, does not look like he's on drugs, does not look like he just buried his family in the backyard.
I just finished playing Mario Kart World with Rad. Dude, have you played that game?
No. And what's going on with your face? If that's what's gonna happen to me if I play that game, then I don't think I want to. Yeah, my son beat me at Mario Kart World, so I fought him. Yeah, I beat his ass. He scratched me a few times, but that motherfucker's 6 feet in the ground. Just primal things. And that's how a primal loses at video games.
Mario Kart World is so fucking dope. And then we have these setups where we combine the virtual world with the real world.
Yeah, dude, you look like you were actually in Mario Kart World. You look like you got hit by a blue shell and your face got blown up. Are you okay? So honestly, nobody really knows how the Liver King got these mysterious cuts on his face. I think with the random nature of this, call out of Joe Rogan, it's safe to assume that Joe Rogan randomly appeared in the middle of the night at Liver King's house and just started beating the shit out of him while he was sleeping on his concrete bed. I really just can't think of any other reason why he would start calling Joe Rogan out unprovoked, They both kind of look like cavemen. They just saw each other and were like, ooga booga.
Okay, real quick, P.S. What I'm hoping is that you, Joe Rogan, are thinking, I'm gonna choke that motherfucker out, lights out, I'm gonna choke him out. And I kind of hope that if you win, that's how it happens, because to wake up from that dream, that's a good feeling. And then anything else that you could break on me, break it on me. I hope that you won't feel me tap. That's never happening, tapping. You're trained, you got a black belt.
All right, now you may be wondering, whoa. How did we just go from playing Mario Kart World with the son to, Joe Rogan, you're a black belt and you could knock me out. I hope that you choke me out with your black belt jiu-jitsu skills. And if you have anything to break on my body, do it. I won't tap out. You can break a chair over my head, you can break a stone over my head, you can break my son's dead body from the backyard over my head. I'm not gonna tap out. I have principles to uphold. I have the 12 ancestral tenets to uphold.
In case you didn't know, I take shits on the ground. This is where I lay in the shower. I'm gonna try and get a shit worked out. We're gonna go try and dispose of some of that, by laying down in the fetal fucking position and then working the valves.
Did he just say that he lays down on the ground in the shower to take a shit? That he's gonna try to work it out? What does he mean he's gonna try to work it out? He's gonna try to work the shit out of his body? Is he gonna be sitting in fetal position just doing crunches? Just trying to move his intestines and his bowels and slowly just squeeze it out of his bowels like it's the last remaining toothpaste? And so as you can see, the Liver King is just losing his mind. And so it doesn't surprise me that nobody knows why he's calling out Joe Rogan. I don't even think that he himself knows why he's calling out Joe Rogan. Unless he is just way smarter than we all know and he is doing this for publicity.
Just finished the garden business and now getting down on some bones. Here's my box of bones in here
that I harvested from my son's body after he beat me in Mario Kart World. Follow for more tips and tricks on how to up your protein intake and become a primal like me. Alright, so this is all fun and games, we see online threats all the time. There's all sorts of people trying to fight each other on YouTube, and influencers always getting in beef with each other. But why was he arrested, Like you're not telling me this guy got arrested just for saying that he wanted to fight Joe Rogan, and for saying that him and his dog are gonna murder him.
You go murder Joe Rogan?
Surely just a murder threat on an Instagram story is not gonna... it's whatever. It's not a big deal. But you know what I would consider a pretty big deal? And I don't know about you, but When you post a video to Instagram ranting about fighting Joe Rogan while holding 2 ARs in your hands?
Joe Rogan, I'm calling you out. My name's Liver King. Man to man. I'm picking a fight with you.
Yeah, I would be scared. I would be scared if that happened to me. You know, when I first watched this, I honestly didn't see the big deal. You know, it's really not that crazy. It's just the Liver King holding 2 assault rifles in his hand while he calls out Joe Rogan. But his leg, what is going on? Now I'm worried. Like, this cannot be normal. Like, you have to be insane for your leg to be twitching like this. Now I'm taking this threat seriously. You know, if you post this video online and you tag me in it, and I see that leg twitching like that, I'm running. Like, if your leg is twitching like that, you have to be a terrorist.
I have 0 training in jiu-jitsu. You're a black belt. You should dismantle me.
Joe Rogan, I am calling you out. I just want a fair fight, man-to-man, honorable fight. You're a black belt in jiu-jitsu. You have training. I don't. So I'm going to be using these 2 assault rifles during our fight. Come fight me. You're a black belt. I have 2 guns. Sounds pretty fair to me. What do you say? Also, if you don't accept the fight, I will show up anyways to your recording studio. So let's all avoid the trouble and just offer me an invitation to the podcast. That's all I actually want. You know, if you just invite me on the show so I can get some clout again, I need to get my money up, then I will not show up to your recording studio with 2 assault rifles. Please and thank you.
You should dismantle me.
See, normally you would dismantle me, but your jiu-jitsu skills would be no match for a Glock. So I think my favorite thing about this is nobody knows why the hell he's calling out Joe Rogan. He keeps saying that he hopes that Joe Rogan releases him from this fight and doesn't make him go through with this, that he doesn't want to, and that Joe Rogan can release him just by inviting him onto his podcast.
Joe Rogan, bro. Just fucking invite me on. Release me of all these other things, man.
He's like, hey, you know, I won't rip your face off and murder you with my dog if you offer me just a, simple invitation to your podcast. I just want to talk with you. I don't want to kill you, but I will if you don't talk to me. And it's kind of hilarious because, like, did you think that was going to work? Did you think you were going to be able to start online beef and threaten to kill the guy? And he's going to be like, yeah, this guy seems pretty chill. Let's have him on the podcast. Let's get him in the same 9 foot by 9 foot room with me. I would love that. I will feel very safe. Alright, so now again, you still might be thinking like, okay, like, this is the Liver King. He's just being crazy. Like, is this really that big of a deal? Is this really worth a terrorist felony charge? Well, then he makes videos saying stuff like this.
Support anything and everything. Because Joe Rogan, we don't have to make videos to pretend anymore.
All right, first of all, running towards somebody on all 4s like that is a terrorist threat in and of itself. That is horrifying.
All of this is happening. We're coming to you. I've challenged you man to man to a fight. You can hold the hand of somebody that you love, because what happens next to you, you're going to need to remember that feeling.
You're going to need a loved one holding your hand for what I'm going to do to you? Is that a threat? What does that mean? What is he going to do to him? Is he going to tickle him? Is he going to kiss him? Is he going to force him into the fetal position and help him take a shit? Help him with some bowel movement? What's going on here? All right, and to make matters worse, part of the reason that he really got arrested for this is he showed up in Houston, where Joe Rogan is, and then records a video saying, "You're dead, bitch."
Just pulling up to the capital of Texas. Guess what? You're dead, bitch. You're dead. You're dead.
But please invite me on your podcast so I don't have to kill you. So yeah, you tell me, if this guy posted videos saying that he wants you dead and that he wants to kill you, and then starts posting videos that he's in a hotel 2 blocks away from you, are you gonna call the cops? Are you gonna be worried? This guy with the mysterious scratch marks on his face, the blue tongue and the mismatched pupils that's crawling on all 4s. I'm definitely calling it a terrorist threat. I am definitely doing that. And I think if he just wouldn't have shown up to the actual city where the guy that he wants to kill is, the guy that he keeps saying he's going to kill is, I think he probably would have been fine, I think Joe Rogan and, whatever, the authorities probably would have been like, okay, Whatever, this guy's just losing his mind from all the bull testicles he's been eating. And so he did get fully arrested, but he did make bail, so he is now free to roam the streets on all fours, or roam the hotel hallways on all fours. With his new ancestral ankle monitor. Now, I think the funniest part about this is he literally got arrested. He literally has a whole ass ankle monitor for making threats online to kill another man. And he says he will never stop. And yeah, basically immediately after he was released, he started posting more threats to Joe Rogan after being arrested for saying threats to Joe Rogan. I think we can all agree that the Liver King is unwell. I think it is hilariously ironic that the one person in the world who is following these 12 ancestral tenets has been arrested with an ankle monitor and is now losing his mind. Do not live like a primal. All right, everybody, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.